Welcome back to another episode of the Philosophy of Chillin. As y'all know, I'm your host, Dunlap the Connect. And as you see, I'm not here by myself. I'm joined with a tremendous person. And before I get into the reason I brought them onto the episode, I'm going to pass it off so that they can introduce themselves to you all.
Hi, my name is Tam Mack. Well, it depends on where you know me from. First off, I have many names. Um, but I am the creator and designer for Chet LaCro. I am a all crochet designer, well, venturing off, but I do many other things. However, the crochet designing is my passion.
Oh, we love it. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, so as always, I don't really reveal the topic of conversation until we're actually in the interview or the episode, but not really interviews. I really do consider these episodes because I know this is not just understanding who you are, but really just getting a sense of your ideology and what you put into your craft in general.
Mhm.
Um, so, with that being said, the topic of today is through your craft or through craft. And I wanted to ask you questions revolving craft in general because your designs are so intricate. I know for a fact, it doesn't just come out of your ass of I see somebody else doing this. It really is. I can tell you sit there and you're like, okay, I'm envisioning this artwork and I'm
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
challenge myself on how to reconstruct it in this artistic avenue that you utilize through your crocheting. So the first question I wanted to ask you, how did you even realize that crocheting was a part of your creative expression?
I didn't. It took me some time. It took me a long time. I first was taught as basically a way to pass time. So
Mhm.
it wasn't too much that I have learned. However, set it down for about a year or two, and then one day I was real stressed, and I was like, you know what? Let me pick this up and see what I can do with this. So originally, I started off with like blankets and um, scarves and stuff like that. My first year, everybody got a lopsided scarf from me for Christmas that year. My mom still has hers, so it's
Mhm.
like. But I eventually got tired with it. Blankets are meh. They're boring to me. So, I went to
Mhm.
university and taught myself everything else pretty much and been growing since then. And I like the way you use the word challenge because every time I start something else, that's how I see it as a challenge.
Mm. I like that. And I also kind of going back to what you said earlier, I wanted to ask you in regards to that stress factor.
Mhm.
I know a lot of things that I've done that has challenged me in a way, which is actually where that comment came from. It was because there was a level of external or um materialistic pressure going on.
Yeah.
And with what you were dealing with as you were transitioning into the discovery of that love and that passion for your um craft in general, what was it like going through that pressure and just understanding like, yo, I have to do something to expel what I'm feeling?
Rough.
Mm,
And
yeah.
that's a good way to put it. It's rough. Like you have no idea. Sometimes I'm working and I'm just in tears. And then other
Mm,
times I'm working and it's like I try to speak life into it. So it feels more than just something you wear. So
mhm,
I envision I meditate, crochet. I'm like, okay, well, I can see this on the red carpet, or I can see this at a certain type of party. I try to envision myself wearing it surrounded by paparazzi. Say over here, over here.
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Because a lot of people, including myself, had. a lot of people I talk to have that visionary aspect,
Mhm,
and when it comes to cementing your actions with those visionary elements that you've seen, how is it for you understanding like, yo, I don't care what I'm experiencing right now. I know that this vision for for the level of detail that I'm getting in
mhm,
to the way that it's internally making me joyous or happy to be continuing this art craft.
mhm.
What is that experience like for you to understand like, yo, regardless, I'm confident in this.
First off, before I start making anything, I've thought about it for at least a good 2, 3 months because
Mhm.
I have to figure out if I can't picture it in my head or picture how to do it in my head, then it's harder for me to bring it to life. I started off with the online boutiques. Look,
That was good. My bad. So what I typically try
no,
to do
I'm being real though.
is like a nice gym. I have another podcast called The Bucket List, and we do gym
Mhm.
drive. So to kind of
Yeah,
deviate from that, I look dead in the camera, and I point to the people like, this is something you got to take away. So go ahead, my bad.
yeah, okay. But yeah, it's like, oh, what was the question again? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. That was my fault. So essentially, I was just asking you, like, from your visions that you get, how
Mhm.
do you cement your confidence in your craft and what you're creating, regardless of the things that
Gotcha.
are
There we go. So,
going on?
after, like, before I was able to visualize it, I had to, let me rephrase that. Before I was aware of the visualization of it, I would
Mm-hmm.
be online at the boutiques they have online. I'm like, oh, that's cute. I wonder if I can recreate it. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's nice. You have the material, but I can crochet it. So that's
Absolutely.
where all of the thought came into play. I spent a lot of time, and I guess that was training in a way. So it trained me mentally for it, and which is a good thing because it gave me other things to think about other than what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into it. I guess I make it look easy because everybody's like, I can do that. Like, well, let's do it.
Right. I mean, and that's another element that I wanted to ask you about too, because sometimes when it is called to you, to others, it can make it seem like, oh, this is easy. But no, like,
Yeah.
elements that go into the actual product of getting the right material that you want outside of just
Mhm.
crochet material, but colors, getting the tools that you need, and then like you said, the research on skill sets. How do I make this actually fit the person how I want it to fit? And that's techniques and skills.
I'll be all the way honest with you. I think of a measuring tape before I started designing. I had to teach myself how to read a measuring tape because I didn't know. But apparently, I have a gift for like signing people up and making it based off of sight. Apparently, so yeah, but that's a good thing. It has also taught me a lot about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I used to be. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. Not as confident.
Mm-hmm.
And like even to this day, I remember I was at a show, I want to say earlier this year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a model that showed up last minute, and she was like, "Hey, just to let you know, I'm available if you need me." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "What's your brand name?" I said, "Chet LaCro." She said, "So you're the legendary Chet LaCro?" I said, "I'm legendary." Who was I going to find out? Oh, yay!
Oh, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So, go ahead.
no, no, no. I definitely want to hear.
It's fun. It's man. And now that I think about it, it's like so much time has passed by,
Mhm,
and the time just flies because it's also therapy. So that's the one thing that has remained constant in my life for years. So it's I can't picture myself doing anything else. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel that. That's part of the reason why I was saying like I understood that statement when another person comes up to you and affirms what you've been doing in a way that you haven't recognized it before.
Right.
That experience is one thing that I'm walking through now. And
Mhm.
even with like the podcast platform, I wanted no parts to do with this. I didn't want to speak in front of people or nothing. But once that constant kept rolling and rolling after the years, people would come up to me and say, "Oh, I love the way you ask questions," or "I love the
Right.
environment," or the way I felt, even though this was my first interview. And I was like, "Okay, well, just I'm just trying to do what God told me to." So, in regards of you, how did that feedback from people help with your internal journey on building that confidence, or where did that confidence start cementing for you in that self-recognition?
Well, first it took me like a really long time to actually believe it. And it might sound weird, but when I realized it, I was honestly fed up.
Mhm.
That's when I got fed up. I was like, okay, you want me to do what? Like, do you not know who I am? Like, do you not know? Like, okay, wait. I think I graduated from that level. It's time for me to hit this next level. I can't do this no more. Like, I just get frustrated. Now it's time to make a change, you know? Time to move on, move up, and do bigger and better things.
And that is another thing I wanted to tap into. Um, so with your craft, like,
Mhm.
it's dope. Like, it really speaks for
Thank
itself.
you.
And there's an evolution that you have to go through in order to see yourself and what you're creating in that business and monetization
Mhm.
aspect. So for you, what was that journey like to understand like, look, I'm not just sitting here creating this just to create it. Now let me try to switch over into making this profitable for me because of the time that I'm investing.
When I figure that out, I'll let you know because I'm struggling in that area. That part is a struggle for me. I'm still trying to figure out the how to monetize, still trying to figure out how to get my name out there. But it's more so I have to shift gears and focus on other aspects. So the way I see it right now, our already product is a good product. Now I need to focus on like marketing or interviews and getting myself out there and talking to these stores. I just talked to a store owner the other day that's willing to put my stuff in the store. So it goes from there.
Oh my goodness, I love it because this is like the real time steps and process
Mhm.
any person, any entrepreneur, any creative, any professional has to go through to not just build their name, but let the people know like this product is reliable. It's not just fashionable,
Right,
but it's here to stay. And with the
right.
years that you've put into your craft, what has your experience been like putting your product in front of others? Like I met you through a fashion show, and I actually was able to wear one of your pieces, and when I tell you that was the most comfortable I felt in crochet clothes. Like
Mhm, mhm.
I've seen them before and people have said, "Oh yeah, I like that. I like that." But I've never felt that they would fit me appropriately. But even putting
Mission accomplished.
it was like a glove.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I tell her. Like, cause I love me a plus size model. Don't get me wrong. I love me a plus size. But when I try to sell to that audience, oh, that's not going to look right on me. How you know?
Mm,
You know, like it
mm,
will, and I promise you it will. So it's we as not necessarily as us being creators, but we as people, we need to give ourselves more credit
mm.
because you look just as good as the next. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's cup of tea. You know, so it just wear it as you see fit.
Oh my goodness, I love that. That was a good one. Because where no, that's real because it goes into that aspect
Yeah.
that you were talking about earlier, like just believing it in general. It it is the fact of if you have someone committed to making clothes for you, regardless of what your own hesitations are, I feel like that's just that open door to be like, okay, maybe I should explore what this can look like on me, how it feels for me.
Mhm.
And for you specifically, going into an industry where on a global or um, a wider public audience, it seems as if it's only one type of individual or made for one type of individual.
Right.
How has it been like for you trying to let other customers and clients know like this is not just one size small. This is one size fits all.
Because I lived I was my first model, and I was a big girl, so I was my original first plus size model. So I was making it for
Mm,
myself. And um I noticed how it made me feel. At first I was
mm,
uncomfortable, but once I was able to let my guard down and then I actually started wearing it out and people started seeing me in it, then a whole new world opens.
mm. Ooh, I love that. I really do because it's like I'm surrounded by so many creatives, so I can understand
Mhm,
those aspects and phases where it's like you're not afraid to do it for somebody else, but when it comes to doing it
mhm,
for yourself, it's a little bit more hesitation. But once that wall is broken down, then
mhm.
that recognition starts coming not just from yourself, but from others as well. And I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to ask you, like, as you were experiencing wearing your pieces, wearing them out for the first time, putting them in fashion shows or collaborating with people, how did you start recognizing, okay, this is something that I can take further and actually solidify what I'm trying to do overall with this, if that makes sense?
Well, at first, uh, I was scared. Like, I would wear it out and then let people see it and show pictures. Like, if you go on my business page and scroll all the way down to the very, very, very first, it's like the beginning of my career, When I first started making stuff and posting stuff, it wasn't until a mutual friend of ours, he hit me up one day. Well, me and the other guy, he hit me up one day. He was like, "Hey, I'm DJing at a friend's birthday party. You want to come through?" So I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's go." Turns out it was Odinero, and he go big for his birthday every year. So I get to talking and networking and showing photos, some same photos from my beginning career. So he was like, "Yo, I'm going to show tomorrow. You should, put yourself
Mm,
in the show." Like, me? Okay, bet. I'll be there. So, so I showed up and it was just, that was it. That was eye
mm,
opening because I'm like, oh my God, it's stuff that I had made and had made and just sitting there collecting dust for years, and I'm seeing it on these models and I'm like, okay, so maybe I hit something here. Maybe I struck gold with this one, I was so excited. Instead of I forgot my designer walk altogether because like in the video, if you look closely in the video, you can see me off in the distance in the audience just jumping up and down like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to be on stage. Like, okay, but it was a very good experience, and I wanted more. So I've been doing shows nonstop since
mhm.
then.
So, can you tell the people what it's like being in that atmosphere, being in showcases, having your pieces on other models, making sure that it doesn't just fit the model, but it actually reflects how you want the piece to be shown? Like, what are the elements that go through your mind when you're experiencing those things?
honesty,
Ooh.
because when I am in that element, I'm real big on my emotions. I might not show it all the time, and I heard that I only have one emotion, which is mean, or
Ridiculous.
I'm working on that, y'all. Bear with me because I do fuss a lot. Fuss because
Mhm.
I can't. But I feel like with honesty, everything could work out better. Not necessarily saying you're going to be happy with the outcome, but at least you know where everything stands. So going into that type of atmosphere is it's always a good thing to make sure that you know exactly what's expected of you. Know what you expect from the overall atmosphere. It's best, lack of a better phrase, it's better to set your intentions before going
Mm.
into it.
Yeah.
You know, so when you get there, open and honest with the models. Encourage the models to be open and honest with you, because I would never have a model walk in something that they are uncomfortable in, unless I know that they can pull it off.
Ooh, that's good.
That's the only difference, because I feel like if you as a model feel confident and like what you
Mhm.
have on, and it's gonna show. It's gonna show on it. It's gonna help you, help me, help us.
Ooh. Well,
You know?
no, because sometimes that element is forgotten in all of the hustle and bustle of everything that's going on. Because
Mm,
yeah, you are a model and you're here to show off this piece, but it is a team effort. If you don't feel comfortable, you have
right,
to speak up and say something. Because with the right
right,
designer, they will sit there and be like, okay, let's make a tweak. Let's do what we need to do so that this can show levels and volumes. Because if you're happy, like you said, the walk that you're gonna perform, the way you're gonna
right.
receive this outfit on you is gonna be so much different.
And this is my disclaimer for all you models out there listening. Don't try that with every designer. And let them know how you feel. But don't, if they not feeling it, just don't miss out on your blessings because of it.
Hmm.
So because it's sometimes they won't budge. They'll pick another
Mm,
model. That's just me. That's what I prefer to do.
and I know that's much appreciated too. Of course. So, okay, we got into the stage of just where you were foundationally, the mindset that you were in, and how you've kind of progressed. So, for me,
Mhm.
seeing where you are now and understanding the potential that there is to make this bigger and everything else, what is your vision in general? Not just for
Mhm.
crochet, but for yourself.
Okay, so being a designer is a short-term goal in my long term. It's a
Mhm.
stepping stone because, okay, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to um, have a summer camp for children with special needs, like a sleepaway summer camp where the parents can get their boost on for the whole summer and make sure, the
Mhm.
kids are okay. But with that, it takes doctors willing to volunteer to come in to make sure they're okay. It takes a whole village. So, in order for me to get to the level to where I can at least start reaching out to people, I have to make a name for myself. And this is how I make a name for myself. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So not only that, it's oh, apparently I have two goals. I just thought about another one. So
I love it.
like it all involves giving back. Like that's the beauty in it, because another one I wanted to open up a
Mhm.
storefront. Um, I wanted to go to high schools in underprivileged areas and work something out with their arts department. And, I teach a class, for example, teach you how to make hats. You all the students make hats for the whole semester. the end of that semester, you bring what you made to the store. You have your own little section for each school, and 60% of the profits will go back into the art department for the
Yes.
school. So when I saw my work purchased and being worn for the first time, oh my, that's a feeling to have had. Like just imagine the what a teenager would feel if they're walking down the street and they say, "Hey, I made that," like I did that, So it and another thing about that is like they have a program for the athletics. They have a program for the academics, but they really don't have too many programs for the arts, So like and it's more than just crochet. I'm a crafter at heart. I can make anything. I love making everything, So that's just what I can get my hands on right now to do. Oh, I can't wait till I get my studios. Everything's coming there. And it's as I evolve, I should say, my goals. So it's changing. Not necessarily saying that I'm going to
Mm,
forget about them, but it's like, okay, well now I found a better path to make it to
ooh,
where,
yeah,
you know, it's a learning process. I
yeah,
don't know what I'm doing. I do not know what I'm doing at
yeah,
all. I'm learning as I go. So yeah, pick as many brains as
yeah.
you can.
And that's actually an aspect I wanted to ask about as well because this is a learning process and it is ever evolving. So,
Mm.
how do you maintain your mindset to not necessarily go not necessarily go overboard in yo, this is who I am, or this is what I'm, this is me type stuff, or ego associated elements, but then balance it out with the fact that yes, I do understand who I am, but who I am is not bigger than the goals that I'm trying to accomplish, and those goals are involving people and impact that even I can tell just based off you telling me that can be tremendous in helping people in
Mhm.
ways that they probably haven't even seen before or have experienced before in their demographics. So how do you kind of balance that recognition that you're understanding, you're feeling, you're growing into, and then also I still have more work to do.
The first thing came to my mind is I'm forced
Ooh,
to. Like, I don't know the choice but
no, I
to.
feel that. I feel that.
I mean, like, honestly, like if I put too much attention into it, because sometimes I could just zone out. I could get into it. I could be up for days on end without break. I think the longest I've been was like maybe 3 days, 4 days without sleep because I'm
No,
doing
I feel
children day in and day. So it's like I started to feel it
that.
physically, like in my neck, my back, my shoulders, my arms go numb. My leg. I've had three
Mhm,
surgeries because of it. So I have no choice but to sit down sometimes. And in that free time, I'm still moving.
mhm,
I'm still thinking. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I make this better? Or this is the road that I want to go down. So now I'm
mhm.
in strategy mode. So it might seem like I'm just in the bed. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really thinking. And it's crazy because it reminded me of something else. When people reach out to me, like friends or whoever reach out to me, they say, "What you doing?" My first response automatically is, "Oh, nothing,
Mm, mm,
nothing,
mm.
but I'm working," you know, or nothing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm thinking.
Um,
But my grandma always said, "Never let your
ooh,
right hand know what your left is doing."
ooh.
So I'm like, okay, because just as many people pray for you, it's people that pray against you too. So it's yeah.
I understand that so much because that's actually where the name of this platform came from. Like people ask me all the time, like, "What are you doing?
Mhm.
What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling." And some people hear that, they be like,
Yeah.
"Bruh, then like you just be sitting down, like you're not doing nothing. This is the only time I get to sit." Like otherwise, I'm moving. I'm
Mhm.
here. I'm there. I'm doing this. But like you said, even if I am physically sitting down or physically in a stationary position, my mind is still going. Like I'm still like, okay, I need to make this document. I need to track this.
And that means to me that that's your passion. I fell down a rabbit hole last night. I can't even lie. I came across this article, and it was written by a guy from, I know I'm going to butcher the name, but it was a tribe in
Mhm,
Nigeria, LGBO, LGABO or something
mhm,
like that. That's how it's spelled. But he was explaining the difference between your spiritual guide and your
ooh,
reincarnator. So what he was saying that caught my attention about the spiritual guide, he was like, well, if you're constantly thinking about something, that means that
mm,
you're passionate about it. And then he broke it down even further. He said, if you ask a child what they want to be when they grow up, they say, I want to be a doctor. You ask them 500 times between now and the time that they finish school, what do they want to be? And their answer never change. So they go to school because it's all that's on their mind. You know, they work for it, they achieve it, they're um
mhm,
they're determined. So that is considered their
mm,
destiny. That is considered their life's journey. That's what they were put here on this earth to do. Especially if you can't let it go. You got to do it. You got to do it. So it's a reason behind that. So, always trust your instincts. But me falling down that rabbit hole, it made me think about that. That's your passion. So always got
yes,
to follow it.
ma'am. And honestly, that's where a lot of my questions come from because as I am experiencing those different levels of that passion journey, it's like, dang, well, sometimes I feel like I'm working so hard to surround myself with the people that can recognize what I'm trying to achieve. And then at the same time, I'm still trying
Mhm.
to figure out how I can use my passion to help others get to the same place I see them as or larger. So
Mhm.
like you said, with this passion and everything else, like I appreciate that. I receive that and I'm
No
just keep
problem.
trying my best to make sure the people I get in contact with, including yourself, I hope this is a platform that helps you reach your and everything
Oh, yeah.
else. Oh, I'm so excited.
Mhm. Should, as you
So
should.
okay, one more question before well, two more questions that I have for you before I flip it. But going into again just your present circumstance and kind of the future into what you see with everything that you receive and everything that's depositing into you, how do you, or what skills, or what techniques, or what avenues do you use to kind of realize the progress that you've made from when you began?
I take
Mm,
photos because Google and Siri, the cloud, they're not gonna let you get nothing. Oh, they big pen. They show you memories of everything. So I always try to keep a photo album, not necessarily photo album physically, but I
mm,
always try to snap a picture of it because even if it's unfinished or if I forgot about it years
mhm,
later, I'm like, oh, I still have this, And I used to be a writer
mm,
too, so it's a lot of papers and stuff that I come across. I'm like, oh, I still like that. So like it's kind of good to get the notification on your phone. It says, on
mhm,
this day 5 years ago, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So I get to see my progress, and it's
mhm.
growth is a beautiful
Oh no,
thing.
for real. Um, It is beautiful, but it's difficult, man. It
Nobody
yeah.
said it was easy. Nobody said it was easy.
Mhm.
It's pretty.
And that's actually the question that I wanted to ask you. Like, when it comes to assessing your mental state and making sure that you're spiritually, mentally, and physically in alignment with your health and where you need to be for not just your craft, but for you personally, what is it like trying to assess, okay, I'm frustrated about this, but I'm trying to get my mind to calm down and realize that I just need to pace myself in this aspect or what have you.
I just get lost in creating. And it wasn't until, as a matter of fact, I was at that same party, Odenero's party. It might have been a year or so later, but it was another one of his birthday events. And it was this guy, he got up and he spoke and he said, or it could have been the circle, one of the two. But he said that if you're depressed, create.
Mm,
You're not creating enough. It's like a natural
mm.
antidepressant. That's the thing. So ever since I heard that, it's like
It's been that.
I just do it. I just get lost in it. Like it's been nights where, like in all honesty, me keep it real with you. I'm just
Mm,
sleeping in my car at a truck stop, got towels up around my window so nobody can see in with the
mhm.
light on, and I'm just crocheting because that it kept me sane, it kept me calm. So it's therapy.
Love it so much. Ah, I'm so excited. Honestly, like conversations like these reaffirm those moments when it is kind of dark around, or even for myself, like one of the biggest
Mhm.
things for me was I didn't want to do or put my voice on a public platform because I knew internally my anger is not where it need to be. I cannot control this the way I need to, and like you said, the internet it be petty. So petty on petty, it ain't a good.
But last time I checked, you're human. I mean, aren't you entitled
Mm,
to feel your feelings
yep, yep.
in a healthy way? I mean, I get it. Don't go overboard. I definitely get it. But
Mm,
you are entitled to feel your
yep,
because anger is a feeling.
yeah,
It's a secondary emotion.
yeah.
However, it's an emotion. You know what I'm saying? So if
Mhm.
and this is just from me to you. So if that's something that hypothetically speaking that you wanted to work on, then don't look at trying to fix the anger. Look at trying to fix the emotion that causes the anger. Because I'm angry because I'm sad. I'm angry because I'm hurt. If you address
Yeah.
those, then you
And
won't be angry.
that's really where my evolution has been cemented in these past couple of months. It's trying to address those roots because
Mhm.
when I restarted this platform, because I had started it in 2019, but I had paused because I was like, you know what? I'm not addressing what I need to, so let me utilize helping others as my avenue to kind of still be in that creative space, what I'm passionate about. And it wasn't until a couple months ago where I was like,
Right.
bro, I'm still getting frustrated in these aspects. What can I do to get to the root of this? And as I was asking those questions, it became more and more clear like, yes, create. It's not leaving your mind for a reason. You have to
Mhm.
do this, or the answers that you're looking for are not
Right.
going to reveal themselves. Oh wow, that just
Right.
came out. Love these conversations. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so
Look, I
oh,
don't talk about it much, but I'm
you know what? From my experience, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the people that I've met that I've recognized their strength, their power, even if they haven't recognized it for themselves, they do have that real
Mhm.
calm, mellow type of vibe until you actually get to know them, and it's like, yo, you out here dangerous? What is good?
Mhm. Now, see, my mistake is, well, what I had to learn, I should say, um, not everybody is worthy of that side. So you have to give it when, well, I learned to give it when it's
Mhm.
asked. I stopped volunteering it because now I'm like, okay, I'm pouring energy into helping you, and you're not even
Yeah.
wanting to help, for one.
Mhm.
So the energy
Mhm.
is being wasted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, I just did that. You know, just watching. Oh, that's what you're
Mhm.
going through. Okay, but are you asking me for advice? Because if you are, then I think, and I'm not
Mhm.
telling you advice if I haven't been through it. So if I
Mhm.
haven't been through it, I'm like, oh, I can't help you. I don't know what to do because it's easy
Mhm.
for people to say what they would have
Yep.
done until they're actually in that situation. You know, so I can say, oh, I would have went love. And the whole time I'm in that situation and I chose to go right. You know? So it really, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I really cannot say that enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because like I said before, a lot of the phases of life and of this journey that I've been experiencing, it's those types of tidbits that kind of help me affirm like, okay, I know I care, I know I want to, but it is a detriment for me to show up for you when you can't show up for me. And
You have to know when to care and who to care for.
I'm still learning. Ah.
Yeah, yeah. I said this. I found out the hard way. I found out the hard way.
It
I
be
wish
like
I
that.
had me a
It be
leader.
like, yeah.
But
And
nonetheless, I
I
made it.
am trying to give you your kudos because, like you said, you wanted a you for you, but you
Thank you.
had to go through what you had to be this version of yourself. So I'm ever grateful that you did the work to
Mhm,
get to that evolution because everything you're depositing to me right now, I am currently needing it and I am going to apply it to reach that
mhm,
level of evolution that I'm trying to see as well. So before I get into, rambling or anything like that, I wanted to
mhm.
go ahead and let the people know that it's almost time for y'all to go because we can sit here all day and talk. But the audience, y'all got a limit, you know what I'm saying? So as we're going to the last couple of minutes of the episode, I wanted to kind of flip the tables around and give you the chance to ask me any questions that you may have, whether it be pertaining to this theme, or anything outside of it.
Let's see. Um, um,
Mhm.
how about this? You play the lottery and you won $1 billion. What would be the top three things that you spend your money?
Oh man. Um, I've never been asked this question before. This is a great question. Um, there's so many things. Top 3. Wow. Okay. Nonprofit work.
Mhm,
Um, and not just like regular, feed the homeless. Like I've seen a lot of underground nonprofits who are building solutions that they just need money to actually confirm that this can help people. Like I know a nonprofit that's cleaning dirty water that's filled with like mud,
mhm,
dirt, and it's a natural filtration system, doesn't need any electricity. They just need money. Like they just need somebody that's willing to say,
mhm,
"Look, I see what you're doing. I'm recognizing it. Let me fund and invest in you." So that's one of the first things I would do. I would try to definitely find those underground nonprofits that are still in their demographic areas and try to build them up so that they can reach more people outside of
mhm.
just their community. Dang, what's another thing I would do? Um, I would build a school. I have always had a vision to want to build a school that addresses the hard skills of what has been experienced in institutionalized learning, but to evolve it and innovate it to where it welcomes the diversity of creative aspects and right brain thinking. Um, because I know a lot of people
Mhm.
that are super smart, they just want something to do. Like they've been in the school system so long, they like, bro, I'm
Yeah.
so fed up with the way in which y'all have been telling me how to apply my intelligence that I'm just now you consider me to
Mhm.
be like not a delinquent, but somebody that's outside of those bounds. And then they utilizing the intelligence
Right.
that they have, they start building their own. But I want it to be an educational system that has all holistic learning involved in it. Like when you're learning, let's meditate. Let's learn how to do
Mhm.
like let's sit. I understand you're
Right.
frustrated. I understand
Right.
these are your emotions, but let's channel these and teach you constructive skills so that you can recognize who you are and be confident in that around middle school, high school. So now you have a clear mind regardless of what you're going through. So you can understand where to put your avenues of talents and intelligence and things of that sort in whatever ways it comes through. Um the last thing, dang. I guess I gotta take care of me, pay them bills off, make sure the my debt or anything that would be a detriment to investing in others or in companies doesn't create an issue. Because that would be one thing that would
Mhm.
break my heart if something that was connected to me that I had a responsibility to upkeep or maintain, it's falling apart because I'm not filling myself up before I try to fill others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Understand. Now I want you to do me a favor.
Mhm.
I want you to take all three of those things, like one on each sticky note, put it on your bathroom mirror because those have just became your life goals.
Yes, ma'am. I will do
You
that.
speak life into.
No,
I'm
I
sorry, I
appreciate
didn't
this.
mean to do no
This
I'm
is
sorry.
like I tell you, I am forever grateful because that's the reason why I asked you to come onto this show. Like that's the reason why I invited you because like I said, when I first met you, I was
Mhm.
like, man, she is focused. We cannot have I cannot ask the questions that I want to ask because we will be talking and then folks gonna be mad because the fashion show not doing what the fashion show is supposed to be doing. So I take
Yeah.
that to heart and I will do that and I will send you a picture of it just so you know, like I'm serious. Like this is not for play play. So I will definitely do that. I appreciate you. Like I'm
Good.
so grateful. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. So with that being said,
Reciprocity.
let me
Thank
tell the
you.
people again, y'all got to go. We can stay all day, talk, chop it up, and there's probably gonna be another day where we just talk and everything else, but y'all gotta go. It's time for y'all to leave. And
Aw,
before y'all go, let me
bye.
let y'all know where to find this amazing, talented woman. I'm going to pass it off to her so she can let you know where to get her socials, where to find her product, and where y'all can engage and help her achieve her goals because I know y'all going to want to know where to get them clothes.
Oh yeah. You guys can follow me at on Instagram, Chet LaCro, CHET underscore LACRO. Facebook,
Mhm.
Chet LaCro with the space, no underscore. Um, where else? TikTok. That one is Tam Raven Mac. Tam underscore Raven underscore Mac.
Mhm.
And I believe it's the same for Snapchat too. So it's, I'm horrible with social media, but we
Understand.
try. I'm surprised I remember that much of it. But
Well,
yeah, I'm working on it.
oh, well, yes. As always, y'all know I'm nervous. That's why I'm hesitating because she got me excited. I got stuff I gotta do after y'all go and all that. So, without further ado, it's been me, done like the connect, and it's been,
Just
and we'll see y'all. Peace.